Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In today's video, what we're going to be doing is, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, this is going to be my Dallas Cowboys versus Cleveland Browns game reaction. Now, as always, like you can see, I'm a Browns fan. This was not the best first game of the season. I'm trying to almost go back in my catalog and try to remember first games of the season for the Cleveland Browns. And this one probably is now up there with the top 5 worst I've ever seen. There's so much that went wrong in this game. There's so much we need to discuss, from the offense, DeShaun Watson, how terrible he looked out there. The offensive line looked like complete putrid dog shit. Now, I do realize Jack Hawkman and Jesse Wilson were not playing, but still, the Dallas Cowboys, they were starting a rookie left tackle and a rookie center, and they looked decent. The defense, we thought they were the #1 defense. They looked a little bit more like an average defense in this game. Now, I will say, when your offense is going 3 and out every single time, it does hurt your defense a little bit because they can't actually catch their breath. There's been debates coming out, or if the teammates are just already dismantling and they're already saying fuck DeShaun Watson because of a clip of Joel Bitonio not taking DeShaun Watson's hand to get up. Apparently there was fans booing in the stadium from what I could hear over the telecast. Fans were just ripping into DeShaun Watson. Analysts now are starting to say Jameis Winston might be time for him to go in. There is so much to get into, and I don't even know where to begin. Before I go any further, I'm gonna have a bunch of links to some Twitter tweets, X tweets of different things. Like I said, from the Joel Bitonio thing, DeShaun Watson. Apparently, there were some times where he had open receivers and he just was not hitting open receivers off pictures from tweets like that, and all this sorts of stuff. Linked down in the description below. So if you want to go check it out for yourself, feel free. But I'm gonna go and get straight into this. So if you're going to enjoy it, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciative to do so. But without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, getting into it, like I said, Dallas Cowboys won 33-17. When you look at the score, you might say, well, maybe the Cowboys just kind of pulled away at the end. No, this was a pure we had no shot win. When you look at the scoring summary in this game, I'm going to kind of give you the idea of how much of a percentage chance I thought we had of winning the game. Not going off of this, going off of myself, how much of a chance I gave our team of winning as the game went along. And not gonna lie, I'm looking at this. This is pretty accurate. When the game started, I'm not gonna lie, I was 50-50. I was like, I'm nervous, but I still think we have a chance to maybe shock some people and beat the Cowboys. We got that first sack on Dak Prescott. I believe it was Sheldon Richardson, straight to the face. That was fucking awesome. I was excited. I was lit. It was awesome. Seeing that, it made me happy. Then we got the big time punt return. We got down to the 40. DeShaun Watson, the offense, they couldn't do anything. We got the field goal. It's okay. Cool. Whatever. It happened. At least we got points on the board. But then the Cowboys got the ball back and they went right down the field. And I believe it was 3rd and goal. Juan Thornhill got burnt more than burnt toast. We called a zero blitz. I think it was Grant Delpit. It was right in the face of Dak Prescott, about to light his ass up. And I think he still got hit. But he threw it off his back foot. Juan Thornhill thought that Grant Delpit was going to sack the quarterback, so he pretty much just stopped covering his guy. Brandon Cooks took off to the back pylon. He caught the ball right there at the front of the end zone. It was easy touchdown for the Cowboys, and I knew at that point, okay, this is not going to go well. As the game went on, the first half, I was like, okay, the defense is getting too many 3 and outs. Too many things are going wrong. David Njoku couldn't catch a fucking ball. He's now hurt, I believe, with a high ankle sprain, so he's going to be out for a few games. In this game, he wasn't even doing much. He was dropping every single pass he was getting. The way the offense was flowing, it was too many. They were trying too hard to be creative. And it's the receivers, the players, everybody from the offensive line, the receivers, the tight ends, the running backs, they were just annoyed. There was a clip I saw literally a few minutes ago that as I was scrolling Twitter, I forgot to save it, but there was a clip of Amari Cooper as the play came in and DeShaun Watson was repeating it back to the offense. And Amari Cooper, you can literally see him on the telecast just roll his eyes he's just thinking, what the fuck are we doing? This is so stupid. And I'm trying to figure out what happened to the offseason where everybody was saying, this offense is looking good. This offense is going to be awesome. Get ready. This offense is going to be nasty. Well, I'll tell you right now, it was nasty, all right. I almost threw up watching it. As the game went on through the second quarter, the offense was still shit. The defense, they were doing everything they could to stop the Dallas Cowboys. But here's one thing I will say about the Dallas Cowboys. Everything that went wrong for us reversed right for them, and everything that could go right for them went right. They got the field goal with 2 minutes to go, and you would think, okay, Browns are going to get the ball back. Maybe they can go down here on a 2-minute drive, and they can go down here. It was 17-3. Can we at least push it to 17-6 because we get the ball to start the second half? Go down, score another field goal, even if it's another field goal, 17-9, boom, 1-possession game. Best case scenario would have been touchdown, but get it back to 17-17. But we all knew that probably wasn't going to happen after the way the offense looked for the first fucking 18 minutes of this game. But they got that field goal. We got the ball back. What did we do? Absolutely nothing. I believe it was a 3 and out. So we punted the ball back to them. They got the ball. They went down the field. Ended up getting a 40-yard field goal with about 51 seconds to go. Defense stood their ground. They got the stop. It went to 20-3. You would think at that moment, with the way the offense has been could we get a spark? Could we do something to go down here and get a score? Even if we don't go down here and get a score, could we just take the knee and just go into halftime and just say, lick your wounds, we suck, let's go in and reassess everything? They couldn't even do that. They tried to actually run an offense, and they were horrible. They were doing these little 5-yard, 3-yard behind the line of scrimmage, like screen passes, check downs to Njoku, to Jerome Ford. They were trying to do something. I don't know what they were trying to do. Time right now, it wasn't working because they went 3 and out. Dallas Cowboys called their timeouts, and they ended up getting the ball back. They tried to literally kick the longest field goal ever, and the dude made it. The only reason it didn't stand was because they got called for delay of game. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was a 66-yard field goal. He kicked it, and it went through. I'm pretty sure it probably would have been good from like 68, 69, 70 yards. And then whenever delay of game got called, everyone was thinking, are they really gonna let him kick this one from 71 yards? The kicker was out there. I believe his name Brandon Arbery. He was out there. He was gonna kick it. At that point with the Browns, we're already down 20-3. I already know we're probably not gonna win this game. Let's just have fun with it. Like, please, for the love of God, kick the ball. I think Browns fans were cheering for him, like, kick it, because, like, this could be awesome. They didn't kick it. They ended up just going ahead and taking the knee. They went into halftime. But when we came out of half, we got the ball back. Like I said, 23. Can we get a spark? Can we do something on offense? You just had a whole halftime. You're able to lick your wounds, reassess. Can we change up the script? Can we do something to go out there and reverse everything on the Cowboys? If I was in a comedy club, that joke would have made the whole entire city of Cleveland laugh, because hell no, we aren't going to do that. We went, I believe, 3 and out again, or we did nothing, and we gave the right ball right back to the Cowboys. They took a play and took the 60-yard punt return and went whoop right back down the field. Once it got to 27-3, I think fans actually in the stadium started leaving. At that point, nobody cared about the game. I think it got to around like the fourth quarter. I could watch on Red Zone, and I had the game live on television, so I was kind of like going back and forth. At that point, when we got to the end of the third quarter and the score was 30-10, I was like, I'm done. I'm going back to Red Zone. When the game kind of pops up, I'll see it. If it's not there, who cares? Now, getting into the box score and discussing how the Browns looked in this game. Like I said, they looked horrible. DeShaun Watson looked trash. Now, there's a lot of arguments, and like people are trying to almost come to the side of DeShaun Watson, Kevin Stefanski, the offensive line. They're trying to figure out, who do we blame for this performance? Is it the offensive line with the injuries? Is it DeShaun Watson because he's still trash? Is it Kevin Stefanski? Is it Ken Dorsey, the offensive coordinator? Who do we blame? I'm gonna say there's probably two things you can kind of blame for. One, it's not really too much to blame for, but I guess it's reasonable to blame this. They played no starters in the preseason. DeShaun Watson didn't play. I don't think any of the receivers, like the main receivers, played in the preseason. So them not being able to get that work in the preseason, it kind of hurt them this year. Like, they got no work preseason, playing in practice. That ain't gonna cut it whenever it comes to getting you ready for the season. When you are out there and you have Micah Parsons actually trying to hurt you, that's different than when you're in the scrimmage practices where the defensive linemen are told by their own coaches, don't touch the other team's quarterback or else I will fucking kick your ass. You are told, don't touch the other team's quarterbacks or else. In the regular season, you are getting paid to touch the other team's quarterback to hurt them. And Micah Parsons, let me tell you something, he was hurting Deshaun Watson. Now, the thing with Deshaun Watson and the thing that I'm trying to figure out is he had 30 passing yards. I want to say it was 30 or 60, one of the two. It was like 30-something passing yards, I believe, in the first half. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, the man played, I don't even know what word I could think of for how he played. The run game was nowhere to be seen. Deshaun Watson was trying to scramble for his life because the offensive line, like I said, they were not covering for him. But as you can see here by this picture, I'll put it up on screen, like I said, and I'll have a link to it in the description. Deshaun had guys get open. Because like I said, there was a discussion of, is it the offensive line they're not covering? Is Deshaun Watson just not throwing it to anybody and he's just horrible? Is receivers maybe not getting open? He had guys get open. On this play, I believe Amari Cooper kind of went up and then he kind of like wrapped around his corner, went that way, I believe, and he went this way. And like you can see, he's got guys coming after him. But earlier on in the game, Dak Prescott on that first touchdown to Brandon Cooks, he had Grant Delpit from me to the camera in his face, off his back foot, and just lobbed it out there and got it to Brandon Cooks. If Dak Prescott can make that throw, and I believe Patrick Mahomes could probably also make that throw, guys like Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, these guys can make these throws, and you want to say, well, those are top guys in the league. Deshaun Watson, he's paid like the top guy in the league. He should be able to make these fucking throws. Turn your fucking body, make that throw, aim right there at the center of the field. Mark Cooper would have ran in, got that ball, and look at who's around him. Guy right there can block that guy. He can block that guy. All you have is a safety. Amari Cooper is a damn good receiver. I think he could have made that guy miss and housed that motherfucker. I don't know what was wrong with Deshaun Watson in this game. It just seemed like everything he tried to do, nothing worked. But real quick, kind of going through some other things, just so I can kind of keep my blood pressure down. Run game, like I said, it just wasn't there. Jerome Ford, he couldn't do anything. When Nick Chubb comes back, I'm wondering if that's going to help at all. Probably not. It's going to help somewhat, but the way they looked this today and the way the offensive line played, I don't even think that Nick Chubb would have wanted to run behind the offensive line. Looking at the receiving core, it's bad. I'm telling you right now, it's bad. And you could say it's because, like I said, the receivers not being able to get open, or because the offensive line not being able to hold up and block, so DeShaun didn't really have time to throw the ball. But at the same time, it's like, can the receivers at least try and get open? Can the offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, can he call some plays? If Kevin Stefanski's still calling plays, can you call plays that are shorter than fucking 2 seconds? Because that's all DeShaun had. It's like, I've watched offenses from in the past of Tom Brady whenever he was in the league, where if the offensive line was stinky and you had a defense that was rushing the lanes really quickly, hell, even right now with Dak Prescott, we were rushing him pretty quickly. He had plays set up to where it was like, step back, throw, play action, throw, quick little 5-yard stick route, throw. It just seems like with DeShaun in this offense, it's too complex, it's too much stuff, and it's not working. Now, coming over to the Dallas Cowboys side of things, I will give them credit, even though I hate the fucking giving credit to the Dallas Cowboys. Their defense was locked down. They played an exceptional game. Because I can sit here and rave and bitch and complain about the Cleveland Browns playing like shit, but the Dallas Cowboys, they had a fucking terrific game plan. They shut us down. Micah Parsons was in the backfield all game long. DeShaun Watson had no room to breathe with Micah Parsons back there. They played a very good game. The Dallas Cowboys played their hearts out. They got a couple interceptions off DeShaun Watson, which I didn't even talk about. I forgot to bring that point up. DeShaun Watson, he's back to his old self throwing these picks. Mike Zimmer, the new defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys since Dan Quinn left to become the head coach of the Washington Commanders, he had a terrific game plan. Like I said, Micah Parsons in the backfield. Corners were being playing sticky. Everything was going good for them. And when it comes to their offense, like I said, our defense, the Browns defense, and kind of talking about the Dallas Cowboys offense, the Cowboys offense just kind of took whatever the Browns defense could give them. And when it comes to the Browns defense, it kind of sucks when your offense can't stay on the field for longer than probably about a minute and a half. Like, if the Browns could have gotten any first downs in that first half, our defense would have had a time to rest, to kind of catch their breath. It felt like every single time they came off the field, they had enough time to go over, sit down, take a drink, and boom, you got to go back out there. Now, something I do want to point out, the fact that if I would have been told before this game, we would have had, DeShaun Watson would have thrown for roughly about the same amount of passing yards as Dak Prescott. We would have more rushing yards than Ezekiel Elliott, and then CeeDee Lamb would have been held to only 5 catches for 61 yards, and maybe a few rushing yards in there with those jet sweeps. I probably would have, and look at down here, time of possession, we won the time of possession battle. We had the same amount of first downs somehow, and almost the same amount of total yards by only 35 yards. If you would have told me that before the game started, I would have been like, okay, we got a chance. And the funny part is, telling me that now that I'm looking at it now, after the game's over, after what I just witnessed, I'm honestly surprised this game was a beatdown. Because how did we have more rushing yards than Ezekiel? Like, Jerome Ford looked like ass in this game. He couldn't fucking run the ball anywhere. Meanwhile, Ezekiel Elliott looked like he was back on 2019 self, and he has less rushing yards than Jerome Ford. The way Dak Prescott was playing, picking us apart, I would have thought he had 300 passing yards. And last time I checked, this Browns offense, we couldn't get a first down if it fucking meant saving our life in the whole game. How did we get 15? And how did Dallas only get 15? The last few things I'll kind of say with this game. Number one, my last joke on DeShaun Watson. I don't know if this is the correct saying, but it seemed like this man couldn't fucking throw a marble into a fucking ocean. The way he throws the ball is weird. I don't know if that's still shoulder lingering pain, but it just seemed like everything went wrong for him in this game. I think next week, whenever we play the Jacksonville Jaguars, they got to get that run game going. If they can get some run game going, it'll help DeShaun Watson get the play action going, I think. And they need to throw the ball not super far downfield, because it clearly didn't work. They had a lot of opportunities to throw the ball downfield, and they missed every single time. But they need to work on these 10-yard, 15-yard, 20-yard intermediate routes. Like, you have good receivers. You got Amari Cooper. You got Jerry Jeudy. These guys like to run downfield. They like to do these posts, these these deep digs, these comeback routes. They like the more intermediate routes. Elijah Moore, he's great in the slot. He can work the middle of the field. Give these guys chances to go out there and make plays. And the weird thing is that I look at is, this offensive coordinator, Ken Dorsey, he came from the Buffalo Bills. I don't remember the Bills offense being this bad, and if any Bills fans are watching this video, was your offense really this bad, or are we just that bad? But last thing I'll say, like I said, Cowboys played a great game. It pains me to say this, but I'm going to be showing sportsmanship here. Great game. Good job of the Cowboys. You guys played a hell of a game. You kicked our asses. Browns, we need to lock the fuck in. This game sucked. And I will say this about the Browns. This game doesn't mean, I won't say as much as it should, because it really doesn't. When I say it doesn't mean as much as it should, I mean this. This was an NFC opponent, not an AFC opponent. When it comes to the world of playoff seedings, possibly fighting for a playoff spot later in the season, this game won't mean as much as other games will. This game was an NFC opponent. It was not a division opponent. It wasn't even a conference opponent. It was an NFC opponent. So later on in the season, when it comes to, oh, this team beats you, so they're going to be ranked a little bit higher than you. This is going to be an NFC opponent that is not going to dictate anything for playoff seeding. Now, I realize whenever it comes to playoffs, we don't want to even talk about playoffs, because after this game, I don't even think we're going to even sniff the wild card. We're not even going to probably sniff. Who fucking cares? We're done. The season's over. But I'm still holding out hope. I'm praying to God we can fix things. When it comes to DeShaun Watson, like I said, people want to say, who do we blame? Is it DeShaun Watson, offensive line, Kevin Stefanski, Ken Dorsey? I don't think you can blame the offensive line. Well, you can blame the offensive line because they had injury problems. If they get Jack Conklin and Jedrick Wills back, I think that'll fix things on the offensive line. Kevin Stefanski has proven himself. He's a 2-time coach of the year. He's won with multiple different quarterbacks. When he's had Nick Mullins out there, he did good. PJ Walker, he's done good. Jacoby Brissett, he's done good. Joe Flacco stepped into the offense last year and he balled out. This is on DeShaun Watson. I don't know if the fucking Monstars from Space Jam took his magic juice and took his talent from 2019. Something happened. I don't know what happened to DeShaun Watson, but he needs to figure it out fast, or else it sucks the fact that we can't cut him, because that's guaranteed money. If we could cut him, trust me, I would cut him right now. But the fact that we can't cut him, it's like, fuck. But other than that, I think I'm gonna wrap up there. Hopefully you guys did go and enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy it, as always, make sure you're going to drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated to do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much. And like I said, if you have a different opinion, do you agree or disagree with anything I said? If you're a Browns fan and you agree or disagree with any of the points that I made, if you want to add your point or any information, any details about something I maybe missed, or anything that you saw in this game that you want to talk about, leave a clear opinion about how you think the game went, and anything you want to talk about down in the comment section below. I'll be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're a fan of the content that I do poster and you want to go and hit that big or subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. I upload Cleveland Browns content here all the time whenever it comes to news and game reactions, whenever it comes to major Cleveland Browns news. So if you want to be staying up to date or just like keeping up with reactions from what I think about the Browns, go ahead and, like I said, subscribe, notification bell, do it. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.